I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the misdemeanor from hell for Merrick Garland, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe Biden. Joe Biden ordered Merrick Garland to prosecute me from the White House lawn when he got off Marine One. And we're going to go on the offense. We're tired of playing defense. We're going to go on the offense on this and stand by. By the way, you should understand Nancy Pelosi is taking on Donald Trump and Steve Bannon. She ought to ask Hillary Clinton how that turned out from them, okay? We're going on the offense.
And wouldn't you know it, the FBI started to leak what they had seized from Project Veritas, leak it to the New York Times. So let's sum up. In the course of a week, a Republican political and media figure, Steve Bannon, is arrested and forced to turn himself into the FBI for his journalism being too provocative. And a Republican political and media figure, James O'Keefe, has his home raided and his property seized, including privileged legal files, for talking about things embarrassing to Biden. And crickets from the people who told us Trump was going to kill freedom and the First Amendment. And just a few hours ago this, I wasn't even going to mention this, and this popped up on my feed today. An internal memo from the Department of Justice leaks showing that Joe Biden intends to use counterterrorism squads and assets and systems, counterterrorism, against parents who complain about critical race theory being taught in schools. As you know, there was a major issue in the Virginia election. Parents were opposed to crazy things being taught in schools, and the Democrats actually pushed back and said parents have no role in the schools. Democrats say parents were like terrorists. Well, it's one thing for a Democratic candidate to say that. He lost. But this is the nonpartisan Department of Justice under Joe Biden acting on it. And here's Biden Attorney General Merrick Garland denying this whole thing just a few days ago.
Do you apologize to Scott Smith and his 15-year-old daughter, Judge?
Senator, anyone whose child was raped is the most horrific crime I can imagine, and is certainly entitled and protected by the First Amendment to protest to their school board about this.
But he was cited by the School Board Association as a domestic terrorist, which we now know that letter and those reports were the basis for your
Senator,
this is
that's wrong.
Shameful. Judge, this is shameful. This testimony, your directive, your performance is shameful.
Okay. That's not.
Thank God you are not on the Supreme Court. You should resign in disgrace, Judge.
So they're arresting political rivals. They're raiding political rivals. They're seizing confidential documents. They're planning to use counterterrorism assets and tools to go after parents. This is not Donald Trump. This is what they said Trump would do, but he never did. They were just projecting. It's what they always wanted to do. And they're doing it. At least America has another party fighting back. At least there are two sides to the debate there. Not here in Canada. All the governing parties, all the opposing parties, all identical and everything important. How is that even possible? All 5 major parties in Ottawa, all 10 provincial governments, all 10 provincial opposition parties, all the same. All the media, with 1% exceptions, the same. At least America has another side to the story. What might it look like here a year into the future if we keep on this path? I mean, British Columbia just extended its state of emergency until the end of 2022. So basically, you won't be free till 2023. They just did it, no problem. Who does that look like? What will they get up to in another year? I don't know, but here's Austria.
Ein Mensch, der in Österreich lebt, sich klar sein, dass von der Polizei kontrolliert werden kann. Denn wir werden in all unseren Kontrollmaßnahmen, die wir Polizei...
That German accent is just too spot on. Here's the Austrian police demanding people's papers in the streets.
Denn nur dann dürfen sich Personen, so wie hier im Südpark in Klagenfurt, in einem Modegeschäft aufhalten. Erlaubt wäre sonst nur der Gang zum Supermarkt. Diese Dame hat Erklärungsbedarf. Was folgt, ist eine Anzeige, weil sie überhaupt keinen Nachweis bei sich hat. Ein paar Kilometer weiter werden auch Kontrollen bei Autofahrern gemacht. Auch sie müssen einen Grund angeben, warum sie unterwegs sind, sofern sie keinen 2G-Nachweis mit sich führen.
Da ist der Toleranzpegel sehr niedrig, ungeimpft.
What's worse, the Gestapo tactics in Austria? I recommend looking in the attics. That's where people hid the last time. What's worse, that? Or the people who happily complied? Yeah, tell me again about how Trump was the risk to our freedoms. Stay with us for more. That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.